Hey guys, you should see this link to sub for 823 Social Studies Planning. We're actually, all the social studies teachers are down in room 814 today doing some instructional planning. So if you have questions of me that you need answered, send me an email because I will be on my device. Also, some PBIS points will be going out to all the students who follow directions, and that will be turning in, completing assignments. Make sure you're watching the video. That is my instructions. So if the class is noisy or there's distraction, put your earbuds in and watch it for yourself because everybody is accountable for themselves. So go ahead and play the global game, okay, that you can see access to. Once you have had time to play the global game, just start the video back. Our affirmations: I am beautiful, I am strong, I am capable, I am in charge of my destiny. And our mantra: today is a new day with a new opportunity to make your world a better place to be. So we're in the world number 3. Clue number 3. The huge wrought iron structure was designed by André Gustave. Oops! I almost told you his last name, which would give away the answer since this tower is named for him. All right, so that's a big clue today. Take a moment to watch our story for today, where the Army widow goes to college in honor of her husband. All right, so you've got activator for 823, interpreting maps 5. So when you click here, it's going to take you to the activator, where you can see you have these questions. What are road maps used for? What are physical maps used for? And how are the two maps different? Okay, so take a look at the two different maps and the content about those maps, and answer those questions in complete sentences in your comment box. All right, once you have finished your activator, just post your answer. So for today, we are doing a new activity called Put Yourself in a Picture, a mountain occupation. So what we're going to do is we're going to first download this document. So this document is located here in the sub. It's also located in the assignment. So you can do Put Yourself in a Picture, and it will bring up the same thing that you see in today's link. All right, so we're going to be using this image right here for all of the questions that we're doing in our document. So we can learn a lot about geography, the people and places around us, through images, and we're going to use this image today. Images that imagine that you are in this picture, okay, this image. Read the questions in each box and then respond in complete sentences. You're going to be using your senses today, so your ability to see, hear, taste, touch, and smell. And you want to give examples of each sense. All right, so take a look at our image here. And then you're going to see your document here, okay? So imagine yourself in the image provided. Dairy farming in Switzerland. In the summer, cows are taken to high mountain pastures called Alps. The milk from the cows is made into cheese. In the fall, the cows return to the valley below. Agriculture is concerned with 3 main activities: preparing soil, growing crops, and raising livestock. So today we are looking at this aspect of raising livestock. Okay, so again, using the picture that we have, okay, this picture right here. So you've opened your document below, and in your document, you are going to type in the first box where it says, when raising livestock, how might the forest be used? How would you describe the cows? What do they have in common? What other things do you see? What resources, goods, or services do you see? Why do you think we don't see any roads? All right, so take a look at this picture and then answer that first question. When raising livestock, how might the forest be used? So you can see forest around, you see the trees, the forest in the background. How might they use these forests that are found near them? Okay, complete sentence. Next, how would you describe the cows? So when you look at them, what do you see? They are brown cows with white spots. Keep going. What do you notice about the cows? Do they seem content? Okay, what do you notice? And then what do all these cows have in common? So what are things that you notice about the cows that are the same? Okay, so we've talked about the woods around, and we talked about the cows. What else do you see? What things do you see in this image? Just start talking about the different things that you see or notice? And then what resources, goods, and services do you see? So what's something that somebody might say, oh, I can use this for the betterment of humanity? What's a resource or a good that somebody might provide? Okay. And then why do you think we don't see any roads? So in this particular picture, we don't see any roads. So give me some reasoning behind why you think maybe there aren't roads in this image. All right, so take a few moments to do sight. Once you've had time to do sight, move on to the next one, sound. What do you hear? When you look at this picture, what are sounds that you might hear? Remember, you're in the picture. What sounds do you hear? What sounds are animal sounds? Like what's coming from the animals? What sounds are nature sounds? So this is pretty outdoorsy. What are the sounds you hear that are coming from nature? What activity is most likely taking place in the buildings? Like what do you hear going on up here? So this isn't too far off from where the cows are. So what do you think is going on here? What sounds might we hear if we were in that building or any of those buildings? All right, so take a moment to type your answers for the sounds that you hear in this area. All right, that's going to take us to our taste. What products might you taste as a result of this farm? Okay, so the content told you a little bit. So, and you know, we know it's dairy, and we know that one of the things that they make is cheese. So what other things might you be able to get from dairy products? Okay, so what are some things that could come from this, some taste that you might have? What kind of vegetation covers the mountain slope? And what taste might be available in the buildings? Okay, so these cows eat, what taste might they have? Like what's the vegetation available to them? What is the things that you see that might be produce for other species besides humans? And some of them may be for humans. So what is that vegetation like? So we can see there's quite a few buildings up here. So what kind of taste might be going on amongst those buildings? And then finally, how might these products be distributed? So if we are getting some products from here that we get to taste, how can we share that taste with others in our country or around the world? All right, so take a few moments to respond to what taste do you see in this image, or do you taste in this image? All right, smell. Our next sense of smell. What smells are around you? So what do you smell here? It's beautiful outdoors. What smells are related to animals? Do they have a particular smell? What do you notice about the animal smells? What about nature? What kind of smells do you have from nature? So it kind of looks maybe a little cloudy right there. Is that going to have a smell to it, with it maybe being overcast? It is, we're pretty high in the mountains, as we can see these steep parts. Is there a smell related to that elevation that we're at? What about the buildings? Are the buildings above, are they wafting of some smells? What kind of smells do you think are coming from there? Do these smells remind you of good things, bad things? Explain that to me. So is there a good smell or something that evokes a good feeling in you, or something that's like, oh, and why do you make that, expression when you hear that or see that? All right. And then our last one, so take a few moments to do your smell. If you have not, stop the video if you need to. Okay, our next sense is touch. How and what do you feel? Okay, so what do you feel in this picture? There's tons of things you can reach out and feel. Are they hot? Are they cold? Are they wet? Are they smooth? How are you describing what you're touching? What do they feel like? Are the things that you can touch, are there things that you can touch? And what do they feel like? So yeah, I think it's very evident that there's some things we can touch here, and describe for me how it would feel to touch them. What would it feel like if you touched the highest mountaintops pictured? So look up there. It looks pretty cold up there. So the last question asks, if this is a picture of summer, why can we see some ice caps up here in the top picture, in the top of these mountains, on top of our image? What do you think's going on? Why do you think that is, that those are there? Think about climate and elevation as you're thinking about that. All right, so this last one is touch. What are things that you can touch? Take a moment to type down the different things that you can touch, answering in complete sentences. And then our last part is an analysis. So as geographers, what can we learn by observing the area around us? So today we did a practice in using our senses to check out things around us. How as geographers can we do that in an area? And then what can we learn by observing images? So we are looking at this image right here and making some assessments about Switzerland dairy farms. So how can we learn from images that we see? All right, take a few moments to jot down your analysis of geographers using their environment and images. And then once you are finished, double check to make sure you have answered each of those thoroughly. There's multiple questions on each one, that you have answered them thoroughly in complete sentences. File, save as, put it in your OneDrive, and then come up here and press your submit button and turn that Word document in. Okay, so this is put yourself in a picture, a mountain occupation dairying. All right, I will see you in class tomorrow.